Hello everyone and welcome back to UK Panda 4x4. It's 2025 and we're back in the thick of it because one of us has bought the cheapest Panda on Marketplace. Let's get into it and have a look. Right, so if you're anything like me, we all enjoy cruising Marketplace and we're often thinking, oh, I could just do with that, or look at that cheap car, let's have a bit of that. And storage is often the issue, but for our current new Panda owner, storage doesn't appear to be the issue. Now, we've got him here and we've got the car, and you may remember this chap from fame such as the blue Panda getting stuck in Wales, and also losing its drive shaft out of the back axle. But Sam's back on the case and he's bought himself a Mark III for very cheap indeed. So we're gonna have a look around it now.
I like time lapses, right?
Right, here we are. Now then.
I'm back.
Yeah, he's back with a vengeance. Look at this. So, you've just got this, Sam, where did you get it from?
It turns up on Facebook Marketplace, and the guy who sold it said it was a Copart, slightly damaged Panda with a few bits missing. He just wanted rid of it, and I thought, yeah, let's get back to pandering.
Let's have it. So, this must have been a police chase because it's got a number there.
I think that's the Copart number for auctions.
Ah, right. I don't know about these things.
No.
Right. So, and it's got no MOT at present.
Not at the moment. It's missing brakes, sump guard, wiper, washer fluid bottle, and whatever else we find.
So in addition to my beautiful face, we've got Ben here as well. Ben's obviously our resident Mark III Panda gurus. So we're going to go and look round this car now. But what you really want to see, and I know what you really want to see, is what is it like underneath? Because we've covered it a number of times. You all as Panda owners know that these go rotten, and we want to know what the subframes are like. So let's get it lifted up in the air and see what the damage is.
Should we get the front end up on the ramps?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, I'll go and get some
see what state the front subframe's in.
If you get those out, I'll go and grab some tips.
Check for leaks as well.
So apart from the missing wiper, what else have we got that's gone on with this car then?
Well, nothing important.
The whole side's caved in. For some reason the brakes are on the back seat.
You don't need these, do you, on a car? It's just an optional accessory, I think.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Yeah.
There's no sump guard, is there, Sam?
No, it's missing.
And that's often a part which goes rotten, which is why they've left it off. And then what remains of the brakes are in the back, so
Yeah.
the brakes, I don't know if you can see that, currently nipped off with some vice grips.
Yep.
So you got some free vice grips with the car, Sam. So that's worth a couple of quid. So we're
That's
winning.
£398 he's paid then.
Yeah.
We need to go looking for change in the interior as well, don't we? See how much more of a refund we can get.
And this actually runs as well, doesn't it, Sam?
It does.
We've had to have a new battery on it. How many miles have we got on, Sam?
88,000.
88,000.
88,000.
He's a minter. Now this will be the fun part of just getting up on some street ramps. Tyres looking fit.
It's a good excuse to put knobbies on.
Right, we're getting under to have a look then.
Fingers crossed.
Right, it's the moment of truth.
Let's see what we got.
How many brown bits are there?
Oh, we got a nice leaky sump at the front. Is that from the filter? It might be the filter.
Is it coming from the sump gasket up there? Look, Ben.
Possibly.
Have you found some more brake?
Found some brakes.
Yeah.
We got a CV boot gone. Don't really doing for the MOT. Arms look alright. Subframe's been kept nice and clean with that CV grease. It's always a good thing. What else we got over here?
It's got plenty of gravel in the prop shaft centre bearing.
Definitely seen some action, hasn't there?
Yeah, flipping heck, it's packed in, man. So the sump guard mounts are just here above where Ben's standing. Just these bits. And as we can see, it's completely missing. Now, these sump guards are very difficult to find, especially for these age of vehicles now, because they go rotten. So, as Sam was suggesting, there are a few available on eBay that people are remanufacturing, and it's often the way that people are going to have to go ahead with when they buy these cars with missing sump guards. So I said it's probably been taken off because it's been bashed in or rotted away, but there doesn't look to be too much evidence under here of any off-roading or vicious field car racing or anything like that. The tyres are looking fit though, aren't they?
The subframe looks about the same as most of them I've seen, but definitely not the worst. It's difficult to tell when it's all covered in dust and stuff, but usually it's, I don't know if you can see where I'm pointing, but where they mount to the body here, there's some inserts. So up here is where the subframe mounts to the bottom of the shell, and we've got like a hollow insert in that subframe that the bolt goes through, and where that insert attaches to the rest of the subframe is usually where they rot out. So your subframe effectively detaches from the body, starts rattling around. Difficult to see the state of that from here, but it's still attached at least. That's a good thing.
Is it missing the cover off the cam box cover?
Yeah, well, it's missing. Yeah, there's like an arch liner combo camperly cover that goes there. So you probably want to get one of those to protect it a little bit from the dirt. Yeah, I think that O-link might be.
It could be the crank seal, to be fair, couldn't it?
It could be.
Or it could be the oil filter, actually.
Yeah, I think oil filter. There's also these plugs as well. If they've been out for any reason, there's no reason for them to come out, but they might not seal properly, or it could just be the sump. But it seems to be quite. It's gone quite high. It's all up over the timing belt case. I don't know how it's got up there.
It's all accessible there, though.
Yeah, it might be dripping down from the top, to be honest. It could be the camshaft. So yeah, potentially there's a gasket between here and here, and you can see it's a little bit wet there.
It's a little bit wet, isn't it?
That might be dripping down along the channels down there. But yeah, it's wet all the way up here, so I'd suggest it's probably the rocker cover gasket potentially, which is a relatively easy fix, I think, on these anyway. On the 16 valve it's not easy. But...
Go and have a look at this prop shaft.
See if you can see the state of the bearing.
Look how much gravel's in there. Can you see it? It's absolutely rammed
into the beach or something, isn't it?
Yeah. But it has got a prop shaft.
Yeah.
Which a lot of these haven't. I know Lewis's one that he's just bought, he's had to actually buy a prop shaft and bolts for it.
Yeah.
Because it was only 2-wheel drive when it arrived.
There's a lot of things here though that would put 99% of people off though, wouldn't there? Like if you'd say this car has 3 brakes on it, most people are out at that point, right?
Yep. 2.5
This
doors.
puts the other half off. And then anyone that's left, as soon as it's making a noise from the four-wheel drive system, they're like, nah.
No chance.
But I've not seen anything that isn't fixable in a day here.
No, amazing.
For very little money as well.
So the question I wanted to ask you, Ben, and I think I would imagine I already know the answer is, do the 2-wheel drive panels fit onto these 4-wheel drives?
Yeah, the difference with the doors is, I think there's holes behind here for this trim. So you wouldn't have this trim on a 2-wheel drive Panda, I don't think. I think it's different trim, slightly smaller or something. Not too sure. The wings and the arches, again, there's holes behind here to mount the plastic bodywork. But in terms of like shape and fitting it, yeah, it's all exactly the same. You can put any Panda wing on any Panda, and any Panda door on any Panda as well.
What have we spotted?
This is straight out of Alpha's modifications aisle, I think. This is not a Fiat item, I don't think. Someone might say I'm wrong, but...
That's why you're here, Ben.
Well, because I've got a very dull eye for detail.
Got a snazzy radio.
I know. That's worth it.
Probably worth about as much as the car. Does it work?
It does, yeah. Well, it did.
Yeah, you've changed the battery though, haven't you?
Down that side, Andy.
Well, it did work earlier. Now it works. We have radio.
Snazzy! Look at that! You got a free car with your radio.
Say when.
Go on. There Neil's a man that is used to looking under pandas.
I'm just dreading having to do this on mine in the summer when I come around to rebuilding it.
Yeah, we haven't had a lot on your 4x4 recently, Ben.
No, it's been laid up. It's got some interesting suspension geometry at the moment, because the bolts that hold the shock on are kind of that shape.
Right, we'll get down and see what these the subframe is at the back.
Right, so main points on these is the anti-roll bar mounts. That's usually the first place to go. And they look crusty, but not too bad. And you got the diff mount here. That looks all right. Anti-roll bar mount again, crusty, but not too bad. And then I think it's like same as the other one, so it's like the mounting points where it goes onto the chassis.
This point here that we covered in the other video, these rear arms aren't actually part of the subframe, they're separate, aren't they?
No, these are fine. If you see these covered in rust, it's not the end of the world at all. You can get new ones of these for about, I think it's about 70 quid a side, and they just bolt on. So don't let this put you off. It's this bit we need to look at, the big thick bit that it's attached to. So this bar along here, and everything above the diff, basically. All of that stuff, that's the bit that you can't get hold of. But yeah, it looks like the same as all the others, basically. It doesn't look like the worst of them, but it's definitely not mint. It'll go though, probably.
Alright for the price though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You shine the light back on it, so I can.
Yeah, so these plastic trims, they hold all the water under here. It's the same on the 100 horsepowers. They got plastic all the way along here. It holds the water inside the sill and against the metal, and then this is where they all. This has been the death of a lot of pandas, this area. And this is crusty, but again, not the worst.
There's just a bit of minor separation right on the end above your head. I don't know if you'll be able to see it from there.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if everything from like there to there was probably pretty rotted inside, because they rot from the inside out. So if we're seeing that patch there, I could probably stick a screwdriver through that. If we're seeing that, that means that there's probably a good 4 inches of rot there.
Yeah, so it's something to bear in mind if you're looking at one of these.
As soon as someone pokes through it, it'll be time to strip those back and plate it up. What's your side looking like?
Well, from what I can see, the subframe mounts up here and around that area look absolutely fine. But it's just as Ben said on the last bit, these rear corners here. Now there is some surface rust. And I'm pressing with my finger and it feels pretty good, to be honest with you. Even up and around the back, it is surprisingly solid. Even though there's particles falling down into my eyes.
How does that taste?
Yeah, it's nice.
Italian.
No, but the rest of it, I mean, look at the sills down here. Pretty unbelievable, to be honest with you, for a 2006 model. I mean, yes, it's only done 80,000 miles, but it's been around for 19 years through 18 British winters, and it's avoided the MOT man several times, and this is why, because it's actually pretty good.
Well, and it's clearly never been taken on a green lane by a group of idiots as well, because we've got no scratches on the sills, no bits of underseal missing, no big dents in the bottom. Usually these will be dented, or the sills will be dented all the way along. You won't have this straight edge if it's been off-roaded, because they're the first things to go when you hit a rock. Most surprisingly, the prop guard looks the same shape as Fiat made it.
But Ben, have you noticed the centre bearing is made of silicone?
Well, from what I can see, the centre bearing is made of gravel. To be honest, see if I can zoom in on that.
Let me turn my camera on.
Yeah, no, is that tiger seal with some hardcore mixed in just for added strength, or?
Hang on.
Yeah, that's definitely a Facebook special, isn't it?
What do we reckon? Is that OEM or what?
It's it's like Italian polybush, isn't it?
Prop shaft.
Tiger seal and gravel.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'll go again. You can either press a new centre bearing on, or just replace the whole thing. We always recommend replacing the whole thing, to be honest.
Well, the prop shaft itself is what, 270 quid, is it? 260 quid?
Yeah, I don't know. It's been a while since I bought mine.
Yeah.
I paid 200 for mine, but that was a couple of years ago now. I did see someone on the group paid 140 quid for one from their local motor factors recently. So you can still get a bargain.
So it's worth saying, if you're more interested in bits for these Mark IIIs now, then join our Facebook group. All the discussions on there. There's no other Facebook group, or indeed group in the UK, which is as popular as us for these Pandas, right through from Mark 1 all the way to Mark 4. Now we'll just have a closer look at this destruction on this side. We've got some damage on the sill. You can see that on the shadow of it. It hasn't actually peeled the metal open though, so as long as that gets a decent coat of some kind of stone chip, then it should be alright for a good number of years. These doors are going to have to be replaced though. Right chaps, what do we reckon then after a look round? So you've done pretty well there, Sam.
I think he's done alright, yeah.
For what we paid for it? Yeah, It's a bit of a bargain, lots of potential, and do some fun modifications with it and just enjoy it.
I can't wait to see him ruin it.
No, we're not going to roller paint it this time.
What do you think, Ben? You were saying you reckon it's probably within the top half of cars of this age.
Well, I've not seen them all. I've seen a lot of them on our meets.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty tidy. It's an 06, so it's a pretty old one as these go. But yeah, there's nothing underneath that would scare me off if it was a grand 1,500 quid, you know?
I mean, my 2010 Cross, which I had, which has been on the channel.
That one would have scared me off if I looked underneath. But
so that was 4 years newer, and that was absolutely dog rotten underneath.
yeah, that's resurfaced again recently.
Yeah. Well, we're going to keep up with progress on this car of Sam's. So next time he chooses to do some work, we'll get up here and give him a hand, I think. And we'll keep you guys up to date with things to look out for on your vehicles, or even vehicles that you're looking to buy that you may have found are in this state prior to you buying them. So this car has been in through Copart, but it hasn't come out with a category. So for the price you paid, Sam, I think it's absolutely perfect, really.
Absolutely, yeah.
So everyone that's watching, let's have some comments. Give us a shout on what you think Sam should do with this car, or any modifications he should do to it. We're going to see this green lane in very soon, along with Ben's again, hopefully. Hopefully. And I've still got my
money for a subframe at this rate. Yeah.
And I've still got my diff lock to test out, so that video's coming up soon. But for now, keep up with us on the Facebook group, give us a subscription on YouTube, and also you can follow us on Instagram. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.